90% of Fortnite maps die in their first couple of weeks, and it's always because of one of these. I've made all of these mistakes myself too. I'm going to tell you what they are and how to fix them. Now, number one is not A/B testing. This one's simple and easy. Most of the time, creators don't realize this, but the thumbnail is actually more important than the map itself. It doesn't matter how good your map is if nobody ever clicks on it. We can think about this with engagements. If your map only gets 10,000 engagements, but you have a 10% CTR, you're going to have 1,000 players, assuming everyone plays it that clicked on it. But if you only have a 1% or a 0.1%, you are losing so much value from the engagements that you do actually receive. It's also very important that your thumbnail matches the expectation of your map. For example, if your map is a shooting game, you don't want it to come across as friendly. It needs to show action. People shouldn't be able to confuse this with a tycoon, for example, because that mismatch could cause you tanked stats, because if they leave in the first minute because of that miscommunication in thumbnail, you have now got a lowered average stats right from the get-go. A good workflow that I would recommend is not having similar thumbnails. Each thumbnail should be very different. Once you've got your discovery shot, if you get one, then get the data from there, choose the best performing one. If they perform very similarly, then choose the one you like the most and then create a whole new thumbnail again. AI is a good way to be doing this. If you have the capital to invest in a good thumbnail creator, you can do that yourself, of course, but with just AI itself, get yourself to a really good thumbnail, and once you've got a good thumbnail, then you could hire somebody if you feel inclined to. This is actually one of the best returns on time. It's just creating a new thumbnail. If you only have an hour in a week to do something with your map, the best thing to do would be creating a solid thumbnail. This is your biggest return on investment move. And another mistake I see so many map creators doing is not spending enough times on the first 30 seconds of gameplay. Many maps that I've seen, including my own at some points, have had massive drop-offs in the first minute. From the get-go, a player should know what to do instantly, where to go. There shouldn't be anything that stops them from getting right into the core gameplay loop. Progression should be really fast in the beginning too. If you've already got a slow progression from the beginning, people are going to quit straight away. People like the power scaling. They want to feel like a noob to begin with, and then very fast get very strong. Over time, you slow that down. Or if it's not that type of game and it's a horror, for example, there should be a good ambience instantly. Or maybe even a jump scare. Probably not a jump scare if you haven't built any tension yet, but they need a reason to keep playing. An example of this, I improved my retention quite a lot just by changing the spawn in HI Hitman. I made some changes so that the entry was much more visible and easy to get through. A good way to see if your map is easy to understand in the first couple seconds is just have a playtester that doesn't game really and see what they do to begin with. Another thing, this is the third mistake, but it ties into the second one, is too much text. Everything should not be explained through text. Even people with long attention spans, adults, intelligent people, come onto game typically to have some fun, and they're not here to read a novel. The text wall is actually the worst way to explain something in a video game, especially a Fortnite based map. There's many alternatives you can do to direct players. You can do it with audio cues, visual cues, or by just getting them to do it themselves, which you'd obviously normally do with the sound or visual. If you still do need to use text, you should split it up into sections. So example, instead of giving a whole list of instructions, you give one instruction, show them how to do certain mechanic, and then teach each one individually and let them know what to do before you pile everything all into one. Mistake number 4 is not optimizing your maps. There's so many different ways to optimize your maps for performance. You really should be doing all of them. You need to lower your download speed. I have a video on optimization, by the way. You need to lower your download speed, lower your upload speed, size, You need to lower triangle counts where possible, use sysms where possible, texture group where possible, reduce texture quality, not have too many with verse, not have too many loops all going on infinitely. Make sure you're cleaning up your coroutines, your maps, whatever. Make sure everything's running nicely. But yes, there's a lot of things that you can do with optimization. It's hard to just give some good advice about it. So obviously go watch my full optimization video for beginners. Maybe you learn something new over there. Mistake number 5 is crucial. Maps are not being made for replayability. Retention is one of Fortnite's biggest metrics in terms of discovery. You're going to get more money per player, as well as get more players in general. Now, making a map replayable is much easier said than done. There's lots of things you can do. You can add daily rewards. I have a Patreon for daily rewards if you want to go check that out. Link in the description. You can have randomization. You can have leaderboards. You can have special codes, hidden things. You can have multiple endings. There's many different ways you can do increase replayability, but you need to think yourself what your map needs for more replayability. Persistence, if you can add persistence to your map, that also will increase replayability too, because they've already got an investment in here. Now this one, we have another one that's going to increase replayability, and it might not make sense to everyone, but it's going to increase the players' investment into the game, both in a personal sense and in a monetary sense. So if you can add V-Bucks transactions, people that have spent money in your game are going to return to the game. So that's going to increase your money and your plays, which is very important. I have videos like these might help you. Use Critical Gizmo, subscribe to the channel, check out my Patreon, and yeah, YouTube thinks this video will be best for you.